start by laying down on your back. As you lay down, find a place that's comfortable, either with your legs outstretched or your knees bent. Your arms rest a little bit away from your sides. And take a moment to close your eyes and connect to your breath. As you let your eyes soften, allow that resting of your gaze away from the outer world towards how your body feels on the inside to help you connect to the flow of your breath. And in each exhale, help you to feel like you ground and connect down towards the earth. And in exchange, as you inhale, let that create a little feeling of lightness and space on the inside. That feeling of lightness on the inside comes from balancing opposite actions, the grounding down as much as the expanding out. Let your breath help you to find both of those actions so that you can start to create a little more room to be on the inside. When you feel like you're ready, let your eyes gently open and reach your arms up towards the sky. As you extend up through the arms, interlace your fingers, turn your palms away from you, and hug in a little with your legs. As you hug in with the legs, let that help you to find a place that feels balanced between the strength of your front body and the space of your back body, so that front and back body together help the center of your body to feel a little lighter, a little freer. Draw your shoulders towards your ears, soften the heads of the arm bones back, keeping the low ribs and the shoulder blade tips drawing towards one another. Start to extend your arms overhead. As you reach out through the arms, keep hugging in with the legs so that the center of your body feels strong and connected. Use that support to help you extend long, down through your legs, out through the crown of your head. As you create space, use each inhale to broaden across the collarbones and to let the front ribs and the shoulder blades feel like they draw towards one another. Let your arms release back up towards the sky. Flip the palms back towards you. Take the opposite cross of the fingers. Turn the palms up, reaching towards the sky. And lengthen the side body. As you draw the shoulders towards the ears, see if you can reach your hips towards your heels so that the sides of your body are extending. And grounding the shoulders back, let the arms travel overhead. Give yourself a couple deep breaths here. As you hug in with the legs, see if you can use that connection to turn on the inner thighs, so that deep in the center of your body, you feel connected and supported. Let the arms release back up. Let your arms come down by your sides and extend the right arm out in line with the shoulder, making sure the hand is at shoulder height or even just a little bit higher. Bringing a stretch across the outer arm and the upper back, start to turn yourself over towards the right. As you roll towards the right side, adjust as you need to stay on the mat, and let your belly turn as much down towards the mat as you can. You can use this left arm to support the weight of your body if you need less intensity, or if it feels comfortable to turn all the way to face the mat, you can bring that left hand and use it as a support for your forehead, or let it soften down by your sides. Once you found a comfortable position, ground down through the outer edge of the right hand, all the way along the outer edge of the right arm, and broaden the right shoulder towards the right. Bring a little connection to the legs, hugging them gently towards one another, turning on your center. Notice how that changes the way the stretch feels across the upper arm, the shoulder, and the back. Give yourself a few deep breaths here, letting time help to release any tension through the outer arm, through the upper back. when you're ready to release, make your way back over onto your back. And shifting to the left side, extend the left arm out. Again, let the hand be in line with the shoulder a little higher, and roll yourself over towards the left. Again, as you turn to face down towards your mat, support yourself in any way you need with the right arm so that you have the right amount of intensity for you. And once you've found a comfortable spot, ground down through the back of the hand, through the outer arm. And use that connection to help you broaden that left shoulder towards the left. Hug in with the legs. Again, use that energy to help you lengthen your spine so that you can extend out long through the legs. Release back onto your back again. And come one more time to the right side, extending the right arm out in line with the shoulder and turning yourself over to lay face down, wrapping yourself up in your right arm. This time, as you arrive, once you've given your body a chance to settle, once you've connected in towards the midline of your body, shift the left hand back a little bit. Make a fist with the right hand, tucking your thumb to the inside, wrapping the fingers around it. And then lifting your head, fold the thumb side of your hand back towards your right shoulder. And let your chin come to rest down on your forearm. Let the weight of your head here help you to ground your hand down towards the mat. As you bring your hand down, root your elbow down as well, so that both points of the forearm, the elbow and the thumb, are rooting down to help you broaden across the top of the shoulder and the side of the neck. If it feels comfortable here, you can turn your head a little bit more towards the right, so you're bringing the left side of your chin a little more into contact with your wrist and forearm. And give yourself a couple deep breaths. Unwind the arms. And making your way onto the left. Again, extend the left arm out in line with the shoulder and roll yourself over in that direction. Again, as you turn to face down, get connected first. Use the connection of your legs in towards the midline, that ability to root the left arm down towards the ground to help your body establish where center is. And then shifting the right hand back a little bit, make a fist with the left hand, tucking the thumb in, wrapping the fingers around it, and lifting your head. Let the thumb side of the hand come down towards the left shoulder, and let your chin come down to rest on your wrist or your forearm. You may notice that your shoulders carry tension quite differently from side to side. Now, as you feel your way in here on this side, adjust as you need to. Root the thumb side of the hand down, root your elbow down, broadening across the top of the shoulder. And if it feels comfortable to do so, you can deepen the stretch through the neck and the top of the shoulder by turning your head a little more towards the left, letting the right side of your chin rest down a little more fully onto your forearm. gently release. As you unfold the left arm, make your way back onto your back. Let the arms soften back by your sides. Then taking one more stretch for the shoulders, turn over onto your belly. As you come to lay face down, extend the left arm out in line with your shoulder. And this time we'll work to stretch into the inner shoulder. As you extend the arm out long, press down into the hand that help you to lift the shoulder up away from the mat. And then start to roll towards the left side. As you turn towards the side, bend into the right knee. Let the right foot come down to the mat so that you're stepping it back behind you to help support the weight of your body. And let your chest turn as much open towards the side as feels comfortable for you. If you're really tight through the inner shoulders, that may mean you can move very little away from the mat. If you're pretty open across the inner chest, you may find that you can start to work the left knee up towards the sky as well, finding a place that feels right for you. And once you've taken a couple breaths, turn back to face the mat. Softening the left arm in, extend the right arm out towards the right, and letting it come in line with the shoulder. Press down into the hand, activate the muscles in the upper back here to lift the right shoulder away from the mat. And keeping that connection to really stabilize the shoulder, making sure the shoulder does not travel forward. Step the left foot back behind you. Again, as you turn towards the side, keep pressing that right hand into the mat. Make sure things feel comfortable as you open into the inner arm and the inner shoulder. If things feel painful or sharp, back off. Again, if you feel like you have deeper to go, lifting that right knee up away from the mat will make things more intense across the shoulders. Release back onto your belly. Take a moment just to pause, maybe making a pillow with the hands so that you can rest your forehead or one cheek on it. Letting any work soften through the shoulders and the upper back. And then from your belly, make your way into a tabletop position. Bring your forearms down onto the mat, turning the palms up, bringing the pinky fingers and the elbows together. And as if your palms were a book, bring the thumb side of the hand down to the mat, feeling how that helps to rotate the upper arms so that the triceps, the outer arms, are wrapping around towards the back. Hug the elbows in and root them down until you feel your low ribs rise up a little bit. Let that help you to lengthen through the spine. Walk the knees back a little bit, and keeping the elbows drawing in and rooting down, start to extend your hips back towards your heels. If your heels can move all the way back to touch, it means you need to move the knees a little further back so that you can create some resistance to help you open across the upper back. Keep rooting the elbows down here and broadening across the collarbones. Make your way back to table. From your table, tuck your toes, take your hips up into downward facing dog. As you find your down dog, ground down through the hands, lift up through the inner shoulders so that you can continue to wrap the outer arms around towards the back. And press down into the toes to reach your heels and your hips up high. Extend out long here through your spine. Then making your way to the top of the mat, walk your feet all the way up between your hands. Come back into a forward fold. then bring your hands to your hips and come all the way up to standing. As you come to stand, release the arms down by the sides. Moving through a couple of sun salutations, working that same rotation of the arms to open through the upper back. With your exhale, turn the arms towards the front, palms towards the back, drawing the low ribs in, lengthening through the low back. As you inhale, start broadening across the collarbones, lifting through your heart and chest. Let that soften the shoulders back. As you exhale, spiral your way in, ground into your heels here. Keep rooting down through the heels. Stack the ribs, the shoulders, your head on top of that support. As you exhale, connect in towards center. Keeping your low back broad, the core body active, lift out of that support. This time take the arms up towards the sky. Hugging in with the hands, in with the legs to keep your back broad, core active. Come all the way down into a forward fold. As the fingertips connect down, hug in with the shins, reach the heels back and apart. Let that help you to broaden deep in the center of the hips, to release tension from the outer legs. Bring your hands up onto your knees, lengthen out long. And with your exhale, bow and fold. Root down through the hands here. Use the press of the fingers down to help you keep drawing the shoulders more deeply onto the back so that you can stay a little more spacious through your chest. And bring the hands to the hips, continuing to hug in with the legs and press the heels back and apart. Come all the way up to standing. Release the hands with your exhale. Hug in with the outer hips, but broaden across the inner thighs. Keeping that support for the low back, rise up, connecting in with the low ribs as you reach the arms towards the sky. Keep broad through your back, connected through your center as you fold, reaching back through the heels to ground the femur bones back. With your inhale, extend out long. With your exhale, bow and fold. Bring your hands to your hips, reaching back through the heels to keep the backs of the legs active. Come all the way up to standing. Release the hands with your exhale, spiral in. With your inhale, rise up and out. See if you can lift from the arches of the feet all the way up and out through your fingertips. As you exhale and fold, keep that lightness and space, but root from the low ribs and the outer hips all the way back down into the ground through your feet. Extend out long. With your exhale, bow and fold. Bring your hands to your hips. Activate the backs of the legs. Come all the way to standing. Release the hands with your exhale. Broaden across the upper back, zipping up through your belly. Keep the connection and support. As you inhale, lift your heart. Let the shoulder blades glide back. And take the arms to the sky. As you fold down and in, use the folding at the hips to root the femur bones back, maybe even letting your belly touch the thighs. And then use lifting your hips to extend the legs rather than working from the knees. With your inhale, extend out long. And this time, bring your hands down, walk your feet back, downward facing dog. Lift through the inner arms, inner shoulders, broadening them away from the base of your neck. Hug in with the hands and the upper arms. Work the arms towards straight. Hug in with the legs. Activate the inner thighs. Use those same actions here. As you hold space and support, start to extend through the legs. Make your way forward to plank. And either with the knees up or the knees down, come all the way to the floor. As you reach back through the toes, interlace your hands back behind you. Zip up through your belly with the exhale. With your inhale, create lightness first, breathing across the upper back, across the upper chest. Let that help you to float up away from the mat. And as you exhale, soften and release. 2 more times. Make space first with the inhale breath, rising up. And as you exhale and soften down, draw in and up through your belly, creating more length and space for your back. One more time, holding that support, that connection through your core. Rise up, breathing around that connection in. And then soften and release. Unclasp your hands. Place your palms down. Make your way back to downward facing dog. And walk the feet up between the hips. Make your way to a forward fold. Press the heels back and apart. Lift from the arches all the way up through the inner thighs and ground from the outer hips down into the corners of the feet. Then bring your hands to your hips. Come all the way to stand. Release your hands by your sides. Turn to face towards the long side of the mat. Take your arms out towards the sides. Moving towards eagle arms, cross the left elbow underneath the right. Bring the palms together to touch, or if it's more comfortable, separate the hands or bring the backs of the hands together, finding a place that feels comfortable for you across the shoulders and the upper back. Hug in with the legs and zip up through your belly so that the front and back planes of your body feel balanced and aligned. And then hugging in with the outer hips, imagine that your elbows were a paintbrush. We're going to work to turn the upper body without turning the legs and the hips. Hug in with the legs, ground down into your heels, and stabilize your body from the sides of your waist. And then moving slowly, using that elbow paintbrush, paint a line over towards the right side of the mat. And then slowly paint that line across and over towards the left. And working to keep the hips, the lower body steady, moving from the upper body. Take a couple cycles here. Noticing how as you turn to the side, the stretch changes through the side body, across the upper back and the shoulder blades. Go one more time to each side. And then as you come back to center, release the arms. Sweep them back out towards the sides. Taking the opposite cross, sweep the right elbow underneath the left and bringing the palms together if that's comfortable or backing off as you need. Round the top elbow, the left elbow down into the bottom elbow. Again, connect in with the legs. Find that place where your back body feels broad, the center of your body feels engaged and lifted. And then playing with that rotation through the ribs and the upper body, paint your line over towards the left. Moving slow, or to work this rotational action of the ribs, of the shoulders, allowing that to help you play not just with expanding across the upper back, but also with how your body connects in towards center through the legs, through the hips, through the side body, so you can keep the lower body steady and grounded as you move through the upper part of your body. Go one more time to each side. And then let the elbows come back to center. Release your arms. Turning to face back towards the top of the mat. When you're ready, use your exhale to spiral in. As you lift the back ribs, ground down through your heels. And then as you inhale, broaden across the low back. Fill up your chest with your breath, broadening across the collarbones. Let the arms rise. Step the right foot back behind the left. Ground down through the outer edge of the foot, and then take the upper body over towards the left as well. As you reach out through the fingers, press down through the outer edge of that right foot, extending all along the right side of the body. Come back up to center. Release the hands down by the sides. Moving to the other side, sweep the arms back up. This time grab a hold of the left hand, step the left foot back behind you. Ground down through the pinky toe side of the foot, as you extend up and out towards the right. Rise back up to standing. Release your arms. With your inhale, as you lift the arms, see if you can maintain that connection through the ribs, that power through the inner thighs. As you exhale, bow and fold. With your inhale, extend forward through your spine as you reach back through your hips and heels. And bring the hands down. Walk the feet back, downward facing dog. Make your way forward to plank. And from your plank down to the mat. Reach back through the toes. This time, come up onto your fingertips, taking your hands a little wider. Hug your fingertips towards one another. Let that help you to connect into the upper back. And then check in with how things feel all the way down through your back. If you notice, as I often do, that you work differently between the right and the left, see if you can find a place that feels balanced. Once you've found a place where you feel like you can connect, lengthen the side body, reaching back through the legs, and keeping a little support from your core so that your back stays long. Curl your way up. As you rise up, make sure your back feels good here. Keep reaching long through the legs, and pull your hands towards your feet to help you draw your heart forward, curling the shoulder blades towards the upper back. And when you're ready, soften, release, coming all the way back down to the mat. See if you can keep the lift of the shoulders as you place your hands. And continuing to connect into the upper back, make your way to downward facing dog. Again, pull the hands firmly down into the mat to keep lifting up through the shoulders, the bones of the arms, and allowing the shoulder blades to connect deeply into the back body. Keeping the feet hip-width distance apart, pivot the feet so that the toes point towards the left. The heels and the toes will end up in line with one another. As you turn the legs, reach that left hip back behind you as you extend out through the left arm. Make your way back to center, pivoting the feet in the opposite direction. Again, the feet will make a line across the back of the mat. Reach up and back through the right hip, long through the right arm. Come back to center. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Softening at the knees. Bring your hands back behind the legs. And lifting your heels, tuck the heel into the palm of the hand so that you're standing on your fingertips. As you wrap the arms around towards the back, imagine you were going to nestle the elbows all the way into the back of the legs. It should feel like your belly and your thighs are connecting deeply into one another. Keeping the elbows hugging in, keeping your heels reaching down and your belly touching your thighs, start to work the legs towards straight. Let the hands here help you to provide a little resistance to lengthen through the spine and the back. Again, backing off if this feels too intense, coming into a regular forward fold if you need. Gently release. Bring the hands to the hips, come all the way to standing. With your exhale, zip up through the belly, softening the front ribs down, the back ribs up. With your inhale, around that support, broaden and expand across the collarbones. Extend up through the fingers as you reach down through your legs. Bow and fold. Coming into Utkatasana, bring the big toes together to touch. Let the feet stay parallel. Leave a little space between the heels. Hug in with the shins and lift up from the arches of the feet all the way through the inner thighs and ground down from the outer hips into the big toes so that your feet feel strong and active. Start to bend a little more deeply into the knees, reaching your hips, your sitting bones way back behind you. Bring your hands up onto your knees. As you lift your chest, look towards the belly. Make sure your knees feel stable, really shifting the hips back rather than letting the knees move forward. As you get strong here, zip up through your belly, then start to lift up through the chest. And if you like, take the arms up towards the sky. Hug in with the legs, in with your hands, and let that help you to lengthen through the back so that you're working deeply in the core body rather than working deeply in the back body. Moving to a twist, let your hands come down to center. Use an exhale to take the left elbow to the outer edge of the right knee. As you turn your chest towards the side, hug in with the legs and draw that left knee back, even with the right. Broadening through the low back, lift your heart towards your thumbs if you have deeper to go. Release back towards center. Send the arms back up towards the sky, zipping up through the belly. And twisting to the other side, let your hands come down to center. Use your exhale to take the right elbow to the outer edge of the left knee. Again, as you arrive, hug in with the knees. Let the right knee draw back, even with the left. And then reach back through your hips and sitting bones, long through the crown of the head, letting your heart rise towards your thumbs. Make your way back to center. And keeping the knees bent, hips reaching back, take the arms to the sky. And then with your exhale, bow your way down and in. Use your hands to help you extend the legs. With your inhale, extend forward, lengthening out long. Bring your hands down, walk your feet back, downward facing dog. Make your way forward to plank. From your plank, come all the way to the mat. Reach back through the toes, ground through the palms. This time, keep the palms down, but see if you can find that same action through the arches of the hands so that the fingertips, the outer rim of the palm is rooting down and the elbows are hugging in to help you connect into the upper back. Hug in with the outer hips, lengthen back through the toes, curl your way up. Let this connection through the hands help to guide a little more space across your chest, a little more energy and connection into the upper back. And soften, release, come all the way back down to the mat. From here, make your way over onto the right side of your leg and the right hip. Extend the right leg out long. Come up onto the palm of the right hand if that's comfortable for you, letting the hand be a little forward of the shoulder. You can also work here with the forearm down if that feels better. We'll work to extend through the right side of the body. Let the hips, the foot be in line with one another and flex that right foot. As you flex it, bring the left foot right onto the top of the right foot. And keeping the right foot active, press out with the left leg so that you're extending all the way along that right side of the body, staying right on the outer edge of the right thigh if you can. As you extend away through the legs, ground down into the right hand and draw up through the right shoulder so that you're expanding the connection between the hips, the side body, and the legs. Soften the work on the right side and switch to the left side. And as you come onto the outer edge of the left leg, extend the left leg out long. As you place the left hand, make sure it's in line with the hip, a little bit forward of the shoulder, or come down onto the forearm if that feels better. And flexing the left foot, bring the right foot to the top of the left one and reach out long through that left leg. Use the press here through the right side to help you extend through the outer hip. And then extend the opposite direction through the shoulder and the chest, as if someone were extending the crown of your head up towards the sky. You can let this right hand help you balance in any way that feels comfortable to you. And gently release. One more time, come back onto the right side. This time, step the left foot forward in front of the right thigh. Place the right hand as you did on the left side. Hug in, ground through the outer edge of the foot, and bring the left hand onto the left knee. We're going to move towards Vastisthasana here, really focusing on opening through the chest and the shoulder. Draw the right shoulder back, feeling the muscles across the upper back engage, and get active through the hand, hugging in with the fingers, pressing down into the outer rim of the palm until you feel the upper back muscles strengthen to support you. Staying strong and connected through the right leg, press down into the outer edge of the right foot, down into the left palm. Start to lift your hips up away from the mat. And take the left arm up towards the sky. If you're steady here and you'd like, you can stack the legs, coming more into a full side plank. And then with control, release, bringing the left foot down, lowering the hips down to the mat. And taking the final side. Turn your way around over onto the left. Again, as you set yourself up, as you come to the outer edge of the left thigh, step the right foot forward, place the left hand in line with the shoulder. Again, forearm can come down if you need. Draw the shoulder towards your ears and anchor it back. And then as you get connected through the shoulder and upper back, use the strength of your hand to bring power and connection through the whole fabric of your back. And then maintaining that support, press down into the outer edge of the foot, the sole of the right foot, lifting the hips. As you lift the hips, keep grounding down into the right foot, getting a nice stretch here across the outer hip. And use the connection in the upper back to keep your chest open. Take the right arm, reach it up towards the sky. Again, if you'd like, you can stack the legs, hugging the feet towards one another, reaching out long across your arms down through the legs. With support, come all the way down to the mat. As you release, make your way into a tabletop position. From your table, bring your forearms down to the mat. As your forearms come down, let your forehead come down to the mat and place your elbows down onto the mat, bringing your palms together into prayer position. Press the elbows down firmly. As you ground them down, you'll feel not only extension along the underside of the arms, but engagement into the upper back. Keeping that connection, hug in with the legs and start to bring the hands towards the back of your head, as if you were going to touch the back of your neck with your thumbs. If you need to, you can walk your knees a little further back to create more space to reach back through the hips. Keep grounding the elbows down here so that you can continue to maintain a sense of lightness and lift for the shoulders. Release the hands. Make your way back up into table. And from your table, come to seated. Extend your legs out in front of you. If you need a block to sit comfortably, please sit up onto one. And use your hands to help you bring the inner thighs down and to walk the sitting bones back behind you. Connect from the feet up through the legs. Then bend the left knee and coming into half Gomukhasana. Cross the legs so that the knees are stacked, being mindful that the knees feel comfortable. Coming onto the outer edge of that left foot, grounding it down to help you broaden across the hips. Sit tall here. Find the front of the sitting bones and then draw up through your belly to help you lengthen through the crown of your head. Keeping the straight leg active, the right heel reaching down towards the ground to stay grounded through the back of the leg. Start to hinge forward at the hips, walking your hands forward to wherever you feel supported. Pressing down into the fingers to draw the shoulders up, lengthening through the side body so that you're not collapsing towards the ground. As you extend, you'll notice that it gets hard to keep the right leg engaged. See if you can continue to engage through the quads so that you're supporting the length on the back of the leg with a little power and connection on the front of the leg. And walk the hands back in. Release the left leg and take the right side. Again, bending at the right knee. Draw the right foot across and over, stacking the knees. They might be lifted or the knee might soften down. And press down into the pinky toe side of the right foot to help keep an alignment between the shin, the knee, and the thigh. As you ground down through the front of the sitting bones, again, extend up through the crown of your head so that you're lengthening your spine first. And then keeping that rooted connection down to the ground, start to bow forward from the hips. As you come forward, as you start to engage with the stretch in the back of the leg, resist the tendency to curl in. Reach back through the sitting bones and extend out long through the spine. Coming forward only as far as feels good to you. Again, engage here with the muscles at the top of the knee, maybe feeling the kneecap rise up. Make your way back up to vertical. And moving towards Agni Stambhasana, fire log pose. Turn yourself towards the long side of the mat. And being mindful of the knee, bring your right shin forward so that your shin is coming down onto the mat. You may find that you need to use a block to support the hips to rise up. And then bring the left shin parallel to the right. If your hips are open, you'll find you can bring the shins parallel to one another. If your hips aren't open through the outer hips, you'll find this action can be really challenging. You may need to back off, bringing the foot to the shin. You may need to fold the bottom shin in towards you. Or you may need to take this action on your back, coming to lay all the way down, and then crossing at the knees for Supta Gomukhasana. As you align the shins, flex the feet. Use that action through the feet to help hug the shins up towards the body so that you can broaden and expand through the inner thighs to open into the outer hips. Make sure there's no pain or discomfort in the knees. And then, if you can, bring your hands to the soles of the feet. Press your feet into your hands into your feet, and use that to reach the sitting bones back and apart. Give yourself a couple deep breaths here, using the actions of the hands and the legs as they meet to help feel your way into a little more space through the outer hips. Continuing to press the hands into the feet, press a little more firmly in that connection between the left foot and the right hand, and move your upper body over towards the right. If it feels good, you can bring the elbow down, expanding a little more deeply into the outer thigh, the outer hip. Reach that left sitting bone back and down towards the ground. Make your way back to center, pressing a little more deeply into that connection between the left hand and the right foot. Shift your upper body towards the left. Left hand and right foot rather. Ground that right sitting bone back and apart. Extend out long through the spine. Going one more time to each side. Come back through center. Press into the right hand and left foot, shifting the upper body towards the right. Then making your way back to center, press into the connection of the left hand and the right foot, shifting the right hip back, upper body towards the left. And come back to center, and continuing to press the hands and the feet. Let your body rise back up towards vertical, releasing the hands when you need to. And then releasing with control. Keep that left leg nice and stable. Release the leg. And come to the other side. Bring the left shin down and bring the right ankle onto the left knee. And as you set yourself up, please adjust using support for the hips, backing off on the angle of that left leg, adjusting however you need so that your knees feel stable and supported with no pain. And you find a comfortable amount of intensity for the hips. Keep reaching the sitting bones back and apart here and flexing through the feet so that the shins are hugging up towards the sky to help support the inner thighs, the sitting bones to broaden back and apart. When you're ready, you can bring the hands to the soles of the feet, again hinging forward at the hips, kicking the feet into the hands, pressing the hands into the feet to help you reach the sitting bones back and apart. You'll find that this changes and intensifies the stretch through the hips. Give yourself a couple of breaths here in the center. And taking the rotation towards the side, press the right foot, the left hand a little more firmly into one another. Shift the upper body over towards the left. As you shift, to help expand into the side waist, the right hip needs to stay rooting back. So keep reaching that right sitting bone down towards the ground. Come back to center. Pressing the right hand, the left foot into one another, ground that left sitting bone back and down. Shift back to center. One more time, grounding through the right foot and the left hand. Broaden and expand into the outer edge of the right hip. Work your way back to center. And pressing between the right hand and the left foot, shift the upper body towards the right. Make your way back to center and continuing to press between the hands and the feet. Let your upper body rise back up. Release the hands as you need. See if you can find the fronts of the sitting bones here, letting the spine lengthen long. Again, keeping that strong support from the shins, gently release the top leg and unfold the bottom leg. Extend your legs out long. As you extend the legs, press down into the hands, down through your hips, and extend up through the spine, creating traction for the low back, extending it up and out from the hips. And then keeping the legs straight or bending at the knees if you need to reduce the intensity at the backs of the legs. Hinge forward from the hips, coming into a forward fold. As you bow forward, start by letting the hands come forward. Maybe that's forearms down, maybe that's palms supporting you as you stay a little lifted. Again, bending into the knees as much as you need. To help release more evenly through the whole back plane of the body, bring your hands back behind the head. Interlace your fingers and make sure things feel comfortable here through the backs of the legs, the space of your low back and spine, all the way up into your neck. First, start to press your head into your hands so that the muscles through the back of your neck, all the way up into your skull, feel active. And then continuing to press, drawing the top of the throat in, use that strength to help you broaden the elbows out towards the sides, to curl up a little through the upper back. And then as slowly as you can, soften and release. Let the elbows hinge back in. Let the back of your neck lengthen, letting your head curl towards your legs any amount that feels good. Taking that action 2 more times, staying grounded through the sitting bones, press your head back into your hands. Start to broaden the elbows out, engaging into the upper back. Curl up a little through your chest. And as slowly as you can, soften and release. The elbows angle in and down your forehead. Extend towards the legs, noticing whether you get closer with each cycle. One final time, staying balanced and long through the back. Press your head into your hands, keeping the top of the throat drawing in. Broaden the elbows, slowly curl up. And then just as slowly, soften and release. As you let your head extend down towards the ground, let the arms reach out long if that feels comfortable for you, or let them soften down by your sides in any way that feels good. Taking a few deep breaths here. Make your way slowly back up towards vertical. And finishing with a final twist, bend the left leg, cross the left leg over the right. With your hands on the knees, hug the knee in and broaden that left sitting bone out towards the left so you can really sit tall. Either hugging the knee with the elbow or extending the arm up and crossing the elbow across to the outer edge of the thigh. Find a little gentle twist and then sweep the left hand back behind you. Use the hand to support length rather than to crank your way in and ground down through the sitting bones. Use that to lengthen up through the spine and twist from your ribs. Letting the elbow at the thigh or the hug of the knee help you to find a connection to move through the upper body rather than forcing your way into the twist. Gently release back towards the front of the mat. Taking the final side, release the left leg, bending the right knee, cross the right leg up and over. And hug the knee in to broaden the sitting bone out towards the side so that you can reach down from the outer hip and extend up through the spine. And either hooking the elbow or reaching up, drawing the elbow across, float the right hand back behind you. Resist the tendency to use the arm as a lever. Hug in with the legs, sit tall, and turn from your own center. Make your way back towards the front of the mat. Release your legs and come all the way down onto your back for Shavasana. As you soften down, let your arms extend out by your sides, extending the legs if that feels comfortable, bending at the knees if that feels better. As always, taking any last remaining movements or actions that your body feels like it's calling out for so that you can soften fully and completely down into the support of the mat. As you let your body come to rest, let your eyes close and start to turn the focus of your awareness back into the movement of your breath. And let the ebb and flow of your breathing help you to connect to the rhythm of your heart.